Neighbors, Suburban Warfare by Invisible Walls. The release date is to be announced. They've had some playtest. And what this is, Dave, it is a team-based player versus player, up to 8 players, neighborhood fight.
I'm sorry, what?
Let's pull up the trailer so you can kind of put this together. To me, it reminds me of like a lighthearted Rainbow Six Siege. The way it's kind of set up with the characters, it's kind of hero based, has different abilities and things like that. So let me go ahead and pull up this trailer here. It just looks fun, and
That's 100% what I was gonna say. What a fantastic idea! This game just looks fun, and you know what? It doesn't have to be anything more than that. It's gonna be a fun game that you can play with the homies, have some laughs. It just like that's it. That's fine. Like
Yeah.
that's all it needs to be.
yeah. And to be honest, I think it's one of those things that I think it's a good idea. It's a fun, random idea that seems like it's going to be a blast, like you said, to play with your homies. So if you're just listening, each character has different abilities. You see a pigeon air bombing, I'm guessing poop. You'll be able to set traps in your specific houses, defend it, plant gardens that help boost abilities and things like that. Characters have different abilities like a slingshot, grappling hook, turrets, boxing gloves is a character. Here's a slingshot. And overall, I just think it's goofy enough, but has some good mechanics to it, if that makes sense. And I'm just excited to play a game like this because a lot of times with the player versus player, I think you kind of get lost in it and like you want to try so hard. But I feel like a game like this, it's hard to want to take so serious because it is so goofy.
There's obviously gonna, just like anything, there's gonna be like people that get real sweaty on it and take it real serious. But I think the vast majority of players are just kind of in it to have a good time, just kind of have fun.
And to kind of dive into it a little bit of the game and how it's going to work. So like I said, it's team based. There's hero elements. So each character has different abilities. And we'll go over all those characters that are announced right now. They plan to release more. There's going to be various team sizes, player or teams of 4v4, 3v3, and 2v2. And the way I think it's going to work is it's going to have an element where you have to protect your base and attack the other base. And the way I'm kind of looking at it, I know there's player tests, so if you've played before, let us know kind of how this is set up. But what I've watched and kind of what I'm gathering is like you go attack. There's characters that defend and there's players that attack, and that's just kind of how the game works in terms of like you must go at the opponents or protect your house. And I wonder how it's going to work is like I said, it's like Rainbow Six Siege where if you eliminate all the characters, is it the round over or you destroy the whole house and that's how you win? Or there's a third option I saw in the trailer. There's a safe crack. Like you pop open that safe and whatever's in it, it's like a capture the flag, you get it back to your house, you win. So let us know if I'm on the right place or anything like that. I have no idea, but that's kind of what I'm thinking as it goes through.
I feel like watching the trailer, like we talked about it a little bit. I feel like there's multiple game modes that we're seeing. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's almost like a, your traditional death match where it's like get rid of the characters, and then like maybe some type of destruction where you're trying to destroy, either one person's house or like you want to make sure that your house is the last house standing or something like that. And like you said with the safe cracker, like I feel like we see a bunch of different game modes in here.
Yeah, and I'm like I said, if you've played the playtest, let us know specifically how it works. But that's just kind of what I'm gathering. And in the game, you'll have different base building aspects, so you can put up different defenses. So you saw on the trailer, they're boarding up windows, they're putting up fences, they're deploying turrets that shoot hot oil. And there's just a variety of different traps that you'll be able to plant throughout the house and outside the house. And I think that's really cool. Each character, like I said, will have different abilities. So let's go ahead and dive into the characters a little bit. There's a lot that I'm gonna unpack here. It's not crazy in terms of like the depth I'm going into. It's just fun little lore things about it because the game has like good descriptions of each of the characters. Not that was really fun. I don't feel like they had to do that.
They definitely didn't have to do it, but it's definitely appreciated.
It makes it a little bit more like immersive in terms like, oh, this is a random, like it's not a random character with no backstory to it. So if you want to learn more about their backstory, it is on their website. But let's go into the characters real quick. There's 8, but more to come. So let's go into our first character here, and that is an offensive Doreen. She is a 67-year-old woman who has boxing gloves as her hand-to-hand combat. She's an expert in that. Her ultimate ability is Fury Rush, and I think this is funny. This is an old lady who increases in damage, attack speed, and she gets like a size increase. So I just think that's gonna be funny. This old lady running at you is so big and just super fast, and increases her damage attack. So I think that's funny.
I mean, I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. Next is Kevin, who's also a offensive character. He is 8 years old. So you get to beat up little kids in this game. Range combat with a slingshot. So he's the kid that you saw with the slingshot, but he's also the one that has the grappling hook. That's his ability. I don't know if he's got a ultimate ability, but that's how it's described. Next we have Chad. I feel like Chad is just like
Wah, wah.
the dad in the neighborhood that nobody likes. I don't know. But he's like the stay-at-home dad because he's an offensive character at the age of 34. He's got a hybrid melee and range, and it's a vacuum cleaner. So that's why stay-at-home dad. He does all the household chores, shoots projectiles or swings it. So I'm guessing how his is going to work. He can suck like things on the battlefield up and then like shoot them at people. I think that'd be kind of cool.
I think we saw a little bit of that in the trailer.
Yeah. And he can swing and hit people with the vacuum. Man, he must be a strong Chad.
I mean, to be able to whack someone with a vacuum.
Yeah, I agree. His ultimate ability is Vacuum Overdrive, which draws in objects and enemies. Next, we have Kim, who's a defensive 29-year-old. She repairs structures with the wrench, and you can also throw the wrench at people. Ability to deploy an oil turret, and I think how the description read of the oil turret is like it doesn't like hurt them; it blinds the enemies. So it's like maybe like hot oil, like get thrown into your eyes kind of situation. That's how it kind of was described to me.
It's not gonna hurt. We're just gonna throw hot oil in your eyes.
Yeah, it's not gonna do any damage to you, but. Next, we have Gramps, who is a support 83-year-old. He's going to be a main healer with the first aid kit. His ultimate ability is going to be Revive. Next, we have Mary Jean. I didn't write down her age, but she's offensive, more of a stealthy melee character with a knitting bag. So she can pick locks and escape enemies. And what I'm just thinking with this is she's going to like pull like an Ezio, like into the neck with some stealth kills right into the neck with the knitting needles.
With the knitting needles.
Yeah, imagine that's the way you go out. Jugular goes everywhere. Oh man.
She's got 3 in each hand, Wolverine style.
Yeah.
Snickety snoy.
Ay. So also has echolocation. So I thought this description was funny. It's she tunes into the gossip. So, she's that book club. Mom, well, did you see that Susan bought a red car instead of a white car? That's how I picture.
No
Mary
one's gonna
Jane.
be that character. Don't be that character.
Yeah, don't be Mary Jane.
Don't be Mary.
That's the Karen of the game.
Yeah, don't be Karen Jane.
Yeah, don't be Karen Jane. So what she does with that is reveals enemy location. Next we have Louis. I feel like Louis the dad you never had. He sounds pretty cool. He's the uncle that you're not really allowed to see, but you go see him anyway. This is Louis, an offensive/defensive character, 41 years old. He plays with fireworks. So his focus is area control, trying to keep people away from the zones or the house or however it's going to work. His firecracker ability is blind firecracker, so kind of like a flashbang, I'm guessing. Next, we have PA. That's his name. He's an offensive 52-year-old who's more mobile. Like, he can get around quick. He shoots through a cannon, dives in, gets out of fights, and his ability is called Big Bertha. It's going to be like, I think, like an airstrike of him, like going high into the air and just like a Hulk smash on the ground. I think that's how it's going to work.
Like a sumo slam.
Yeah, like a sumo slam. I think that's going to be really fun. And so that's all 8. If you want to learn more about them, it's on their website. But also, again, if you've played the playtest, let us know how it like plays out. I'm really curious to see how these characters interact with each other. It's going to be really fun. Each starts with the unique item and ability. And you can unlock new hobbies and perks. And so I wonder if the hobbies, I think Dave, you actually brought this up, if the hobbies are different weapons, like a baseball bat or I don't know, like a golf club, like different hobbies is the different weapons, and the perks are things that you can just unlock to make your character better, different play styles.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit. Like the hobbies, what I was thinking was like the hobbies could be also perks and weapons. So it's like you said, like you got the new hobby of baseball, so now you have the baseball bat as a weapon. But also when it comes to like perks and like hobbies and stuff like that, it's like your new hobby that you've acquired is gardening, right? So like now in your garden you can plant like healing items and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I think the one that's really kind of curious that we talked about from the trailer was the birds flying overhead, dropping their doo doo down there. It's
Yeah, like an AC 130 aspect.
yeah, and it's like you're like, oh, your new hobby is bird watching. So like all of a sudden now you have this like fleet of birds that you can control over the map to like airdrop on enemies and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I think there's a lot that they could do with that.
Or it could be like a drone, like a pigeon is a drone, and like it like scouts out the area for you too, like in the house and things like that. That'd be really neat. Oh man. Kind of going into that, you kind of brought up the plants being able to garden and plant different plants. So what they described the plants are supposed to do is help with aid in battle, and I'm wondering if that's going to be something like a health regen, like your health regens after a certain amount of time if you're close enough to it, or you go pick a berry and that you eat it, and that's how you increase your health. Strength power ups maybe with it, so you eat a berry and you make it stronger. I don't know how that's all going to work. I'm curious to know. Again, if you played, let us know. Um, yeah. There's gonna be 5 different houses and more will be added. That's another thing I had. As a team, do you pick the house and then like, or is it all random you load into, or is it's random but you get put in different houses so it like keeps it fresh? I don't know, because I think it's gonna be one of those things you have to learn each house and how to defend it and how to attack other houses.
Yeah, and I think this one really depends on game mode because there's obviously more characters than there is houses, so it's not like everybody can get their own house. And in a death match, I feel like 5 people probably isn't enough to get the game going. So like it'll be interesting to see the dynamics here, but like yeah, I don't know. I feel like you're probably going to get randomized, right? Because there's going to have to be different houses that are you know, like you said, they're different layouts, different setups. There's ones that you're going to like more. There's ones that you're going to have better strategy for. There's going to be ones that are in better locations on the street and stuff like that. So it's like, do you kind of like fight for your whatever house you want? I don't know. I think it's probably just going to be like a random, like, this is your house for this match.
Weapon wise, like I said, there's various different weapons as you saw in the trailer: boxing gloves, golf clubs, hammers, wrenches, bats, bird attacks. And honestly, I think this game is different. This game is different in the sense of not just another Concord or like, you know what I mean? They're not trying to be the next big thing. I think they're just trying to be something fun, lighthearted, something that you can get lost in for a little bit, play for a while, and then maybe forget about it. I think that's kind of what this game is going to be. Yeah, they want to hold their core player base, and I think they're going to have that, but they're not trying to be Concord, the next live action shooter that takes over the world, or the X Defiant that's trying to kill Call of Duty. No, that's not what this game is. I just think it's going to be fun, lighthearted, and it's a game to give a shot.
Throwing shade on Concord.
Yeah, Concord.
Yeah. Rip.
That game died before it was even announced.
That game sucked.
Yeah.
We said that game sucked.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Generic
we're going
garbage.
Yeah, garbage. Anyway, we're going off topic.
Yeah.
I do think this game is a lot of fun. I think this game for me comes down to price.
Yeah, I don't think it comes down to price for me. I think I'm going to get it and play it either way.
$70, you're in?
I think I'm in for... Okay, all right. Now you're stretching my wallet a little bit. I don't think it's going to be $70. I do hope that this game does not become a live at a service game where it has battle passes and all this stuff and you have to worry about all this. Like, I don't want it to be a free to play and have to worry about all this. I'd pay like $40 for this game.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I'm kind of over free to plays if we're going to be honest.
It's not fun.
For you know what, like, dude, like my number one example of Fall Guys, when you know how much I love Fall Guys, right?
Yeah.
It went free to play, and like ever since it went free to play, it just sucks.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
Yeah.
And like that game was like $12. You know what I mean? Like, nah.
It's just everybody wants to maximize revenue. So if you make the game free and everybody wants these skins, these weapons, and this pay to win, like that's what these companies want. Nobody wants to just release a game and release. I don't mind DLCs and I don't mind like season passes, but it's just this every little microtransaction to get the next big thing of the game. That's where I kind of like draw the line and don't want to participate long term in a game.
It's the worst, man. And I think it's like, it's even worse when the game starts off as a paid game and then it's free to play because everything changes. Like, I hate to keep bringing it up, but like in the example of Fall Guys, right? Like, I have in my Fall Guys bank right now, like Fall Guys used to use kudos when you would play, you know, when it was a paid game. Kudos was their currency for like unlocking skins and like nameplates and all of that stuff. I have 700,000 kudos in my bank right now, and I literally cannot use them on anything because as soon as they went free to play, now everything costs show bucks, and you don't earn show bucks. You pretty much have to buy them. Like they like the grind to even get a show buck is like disgusting, and they're charging 800 or whatever for a costume, and it's like, dude, I'm kind of over this. I mean, I'm just kind of over it.
And that's another thing. Like I've been playing War Thunder. That game is brutal with pay to win, pay to do anything in that game, and I'm not going to do it because, like I said, what I'm more excited about is Microsoft Flight Simulator, and so I'm not going to invest in this game that, one, I suck at, and two, that's pay to win. So yeah, games, come on, just let us buy the game, release a couple DLCs that are $10-15 that really enhance the game, but don't make me buy the guns and stuff like that. You don't need to do that.
So did you buy the $70 tank we were talking about?
No.
I'm proud of you.
No, I didn't buy a single thing in War Thunder yet.
I'm proud of you. Well done.
What's going to happen is I'm actually going to get pretty decent at the game, and then I'm like, oh, I got to buy this jet. I want to fight a jet. But no, that's not going to happen.
At some point, Adam's going to come on here and be like, I bought a $70 tank.
$70 tank, $70 jet, whatever. But like I said, let us know in the comments if you're excited about this game. They do have playtest sign up, so if you'd like to jump into this game, let's do it. And let us know if you have played this. Give us some breakdown of how the gameplay works, the game modes, if there's various game modes. Very curious to see. And yeah, let us know. Thumbs up for me for now.
Thumbs up for me right now. If you guys have played the playtest, go ahead and break your NDAs and drop down in the comments exactly what it is all about.
Let's talk nerdy comics.
I got comics on the mind.
Ooh, that's what we're gonna make next. Okay.
But drop down in the comments. Comics will come later. Your thoughts on the game?